Hey guys, it's Matt Catling, and this is your mini accelerator. And what I wanted to do this week is share something a little bit different. I share this process with my troublemakers business breakout program. And this is a high level mastermind where we help people scale to that 7-figure and beyond mark, which is it's really, really exciting. Now, how we do this is we break up kind of like 90-day cycles, but more specifically 8-week sprints. And this is what we do. So we sprint for 8 weeks. We then celebrate, and then we do a bit of a holiday or a recharge, and then we set up the next 8-week cycle. Now, I love this because with a sprint, we're often able to achieve more because there is a shorter time frame. Also, the celebration is really amazing, especially if you get around other people that are kind of doing the same type of sprints, because you feed off everyone's energy and excitement and motivation. And it also helps you, set up the next 8-week cycle. What's really important in this busy world is also doing a bit of a recharge. So getting out of your environment, getting back to nature, focusing on self-care and all of those things. So we find these 8-week cycles are really, really powerful and really move the needle. And so I want to share the worksheet that we use in our Troublemakers Business Breakout Program. So the first thing that we do is we put the date at the top. You can see this. So we've got the start date, the finish date, and as I mentioned, we set it up in an 8-week cycle. So if you look at where you are right now, and then put the date from today, and then the finish date is 8 weeks in the future. We then want to look at a start goal. Now, the start goal is where I will look at the business or life. You can do this for life and business. And we set what's called a breakout goal. Now, a breakout goal is really simple. There are two components. You've probably heard me share this before. The first one is we look at leadership, or more specifically, kind of mindset and leadership. And what we're looking at is who do you need to become? So we look at this next 8-week cycle. What belief systems do we need to shift? What habits do we need to condition? And typically, it might be 1 or 2 habits that we want to condition, or it could be learning at the same time. So it's really easy. I'm going to shift this belief and change this about my leadership. Then we look at the specific goal, result, sorry. We look at, by me being this leader, what type of result are we going to, achieve? Now, if it's a business, I'm always focused on profit. So I want a number, okay? Revenue, profit, ideally profit, because, profit is what you keep at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how much you make, it's what you keep at the end of the day that is most important. Okay, so we've got our start goal, our finish goal, okay? And we've looked at those two components, leadership and the result that you will achieve by being that leader. Then what I like to do is get out some Post-it notes. And you can see what we have is 8 weekly milestones. When it comes to milestones, I always start with the end in mind. So what I'll do is I will get the goal and I will work that out at the 8-week point. Put it on a Post-it note with the date, and then I'll stick it. And then what I start to do is I work forwards to backwards, and I work out all of the intermediate steps. I like to use Post-it notes because things change. And this is where we can start to do a bit of a brainstorm. We can start to put multiple Post-it notes in each of these columns with, the top one obviously being the outcome that you're looking for. So I could have multiple strategies. It could be things that I want to achieve around learning, the habits, the leadership, and then obviously the strategy and results that we're putting in place. And so this gives me a weekly check-in, and it gives me an opportunity to be able to really sprint very, very quickly over that 8-week cycle with the brightness of the future, that there's a bit of a celebration, a little bit of a recharge before we set up the next 8-week cycle. Now, I find that when you're doing these 8-week cycles, what happens is they compound on top of each other. Burnout becomes a thing of the past. And if you're doing it with a group of people, oh, wow, it is just so powerful because you feed off everyone's energy. And this is why with my Troublemakers Business Breakout Program, we catch up in person every 8 weeks. We do what's called a breakout lunch. And this is where we come together with our 8-week cycle and we look at each other and go, how did you go? We either celebrate or we commiserate. Not really commiserate, but we learn. Now, the big thing about the 8-week cycle is that we can start to look at, you know what, I was off track. And then we can start to learn for the next 8-week cycle, what do we need to put in place to be able to get back on track? Do we need to show up to these sessions like this, the accountability sessions every single week? Do we need to, work with an accountability buddy? Do we need to be in regular contact with the coach? Do we need to bring in some professional services or advice or all of those things? Okay. Or if it's, health, if it's around life, do we need to bring in some experts around health or experts around relationships or experts around wealth, personal finances, all of those things? Remember, rapid change technologies, we look at 3 models of change. We look at mindset, we look at coaching and empowerment, getting on the true target, but we also look at strategy or blueprint or consulting. And the most important thing is putting yourself in a structure of rapid change. Structures create outcomes. Okay, if you're not following through, you're in the wrong structure. And most people out there are in the wrong structure. They're trying to do it solo. They're cheaping out on their personal development. No, the key is to rise to a new level of leadership. And if it comes to a mastermind and you feel intimidated by that mastermind, or you're comparing yourself and you don't want to be there, that's the right mastermind, because it is going to push you and challenge you and trigger you to move to the next level. So that is our mini accelerator for today. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you need any help or you want more information about any of our masterminds, we've got like a startup mastermind now to help you construct your first deal. One deal could actually change your life. We have a 10K accelerator mastermind to help you do your first 10K. And we have, our big program, which is our Troublemakers Business Breakout, which is that 7-figure breakout and more. So as always, reach out if you need me. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. Bye for now.